Looking for the best all-season tires to suit your needs? In this video, we're diving into some of the top options available right now. Before we begin, don't forget to check out the links in the description to find the best deals within your budget. Let's get Number 1. Michelin CrossClimate 2. From the moment I installed these tires, I knew I was driving on something special. Unlike most all-season tires, which often compromise on performance in certain conditions, the Michelin CrossClimate 2 feels like it was designed to excel in every situation. On dry roads, the grip is outstanding. It handles like a high-performance summer tire, allowing me to take tight corners with ease. Even at high speeds, the stability is rock solid, and the braking distance is impressively short. In the rain, the tire's deep tread grooves and unique V-shaped pattern quickly channel water away, preventing hydroplaning and keeping the car firmly on the road. What really surprised me, though, was how well it performed in snow and ice. Many all-season tires struggle in winter conditions, but the CrossClimate 2 felt almost like a dedicated winter tire. It gripped the snow, maintained traction on icy roads, and stopped efficiently even in freezing temperatures. As for comfort, the ride was smooth and quiet, making long drives effortless. After testing several all-season tires, I can confidently say that the Michelin CrossClimate 2 is the best choice if you're looking for top-tier all-season performance. That wraps up our list of the top 6 best all-season tires. Let us know in the comments which all-season tire is your favorite. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, we always appreciate it. Number 2. Continental PureContact LS. When I first installed this tire, I could tell that it was built for comfort, and from the moment I hit the road the ride felt smooth, controlled and refined. The tires absorbed bumps and road imperfections effortlessly, making city driving and long highway trips equally enjoyable. Unlike some all-season tires that feel stiff or rigid, these had a perfect balance between softness and responsiveness. Dry road performance was outstanding. The tires provided exceptional grip, allowing me to take turns with confidence even at high speeds. The stability remained solid and I never felt any unwanted sway or vibration. In wet conditions they handled just as well. I drove through a heavy downpour and not once did I feel like I was losing control. Water evacuation was quick, reducing the risk of hydroplaning. In light snow the PureContact LS held its own, though it wasn't quite as aggressive as a true winter tire. This tire is capable enough for occasional snowfalls, but I wouldn't rely on it for deep winter conditions. One of the biggest highlights was fuel efficiency. After a few weeks of testing I noticed a small but noticeable improvement in my gas mileage, making it a great choice for drivers who value fuel savings along with comfort. Number 3. Goodyear Assurance WeatherReady. When I put on this tire I immediately noticed the difference in tread design. Unlike the previous tires, this one is built for true all-season performance including winter conditions. On dry pavement these tires performed just as well as a high-quality summer tire. The handling was responsive and they provided excellent traction during sharp turns. When I tested them in wet conditions they were equally impressive. The tires cut through puddles without losing grip, making them one of the best options for rainy climates. What really set these tires apart was their performance in the snow. With the 3-peak mountain snowflake rating they handled light and moderate snow better than any other tire I had tested up to this point. I drove on icy roads and while they weren't quite as good as dedicated winter tires they came surprisingly close. The only downside was the road noise. These tires were a little louder than the Bridgestone Turanza QuietTrack, but the trade-off was well worth it for their all-weather capabilities. So if you need a true all-season tire that can handle all types of weather, the Goodyear Assurance WeatherReady is one of the best choices on the market. Number 4. Bridgestone Turanza QuietTrack. The tire lived up to its name from the moment I hit the road. It is designed for comfort and it truly delivers. As soon as I started driving I noticed how quiet and smooth the ride was. It felt like I was gliding effortlessly even over rough pavement. For long highway drives this tire is one of the best I've ever tested. I barely felt any road vibrations, which made a noticeable difference during extended trips. On driving roads the grip was solid. The tires provided a stable and controlled driving experience which gave me confidence behind the wheel. What performance was also respectable. I drove through heavy rain and while the tires didn't outperform some of the top contenders on this list, they handled the conditions well enough that I never felt unsafe. Snow performance was where these tires struggled the most. While they performed better than the Pirelli P7 AS Plus 3, they still weren't ideal for heavy winter conditions. If you live in an area that gets a lot of snow you may want to consider a different option. Overall the Bridgestone Turanza QuietTrack is perfect for highway drivers who prioritize comfort and a quiet ride. if you take long road trips or spend a lot of time on the freeway, these are some of the best all-season tires you can get. Number 5. Pirelli P7 AS Plus 3. When I first tested this tire, I could immediately tell that fuel efficiency was a priority in its design. The tires felt light and smooth, almost as if they were gliding over the pavement. I immediately noticed that my fuel economy had improved and I was getting more miles per gallon compared to some of the other all-season tires I had tested. On dry roads, these tires performed exceptionally well. They hugged corners without feeling unstable, and I felt completely in control even at higher speeds. In wet conditions, they continued to impress me. I tested them on slick roads after a heavy rainstorm and they provided a secure grip without any noticeable skidding. However, the winter performance was a different story. While they handled light snow reasonably well, I wouldn't trust them in deeper snow or icy conditions. The tread pattern isn't aggressive enough to dig into the snow, so if you live in a place with harsh winters, these might not be the best choice. One thing that really stood out to me was how quiet these tires were. I could barely hear them on the highway even at high speeds. That level of silence makes long road trips much more enjoyable. For drivers who prioritize fuel efficiency and a quiet, smooth ride, the Pirelli P7 AS Plus 3 is a fantastic option. But if you're experiencing harsh winters, you might want to go with something more suited for snow and ice. Number 6. Yokohama Avid Ascent GT. This was the first set of tires I tested for this review, and I wasn't expecting too much since it's one of the more affordable all-season options. However, I was still eager to see how it performed in real-world driving conditions. As soon as I hit the road, I noticed that the tires offered a fairly smooth ride on dry pavement. They had decent grip, though I could feel a slight flex in the sidewalls when taking sharp turns. In wet conditions, they performed well enough to keep me confident behind the wheel. I drove through heavy rain and didn't experience hydroplaning, which is always a plus for an all-season tire at this price point. However, this tire did not live up to expectations when I tested them in light snow. The tires felt like they were struggling for traction, and I had to drive more cautiously than I would have liked. On icy roads, they lacked the bite needed to stop quickly, which may be a bit uneasy. Comfort-wise, the ride was decent, but there was noticeable road noise at higher speeds. After a few hours on the highway, I found myself wishing for a quieter tire. Still, for an entry-level all-season option, the Yokohama Avid Ascent GT holds its own. Overall, this tire is best suited for drivers who live in mild climates and don't deal with heavy snow or extreme weather. If you need a budget-friendly all-season tire and primarily drive in urban areas, this one is worth considering. However, if you expect to deal with snow and ice, then you might want to keep watching this video till the very end.